When you're here with me, I feel so strong. No, really, look that up. I Feel So Strong by PJ Powers and Steve Gegard. It's a South African song. Dope AF. I think it's from the 80s. Really, really good. Hey everyone, welcome back to Babbling Brook. It's your host, Babalwa Brook. In tonight's episode, we will be discussing a very, very serious issue of catfishing. This is somebody who's very near and dear to me, who was being catfished, in my humble opinion. By the way, I have to tell you now, spoiler alert, this story continues beyond what I've told you here. Of course, at the time that I did this recording, I didn't know that it was going to, or if it was, etc. So, of course, I go into detail about my role in it, etc., etc. And what is the connection between this person and my YouTube channel? Find out on this episode. Lastly, there was a situation where, unfortunately, there was nudes involved. I'll just leave it at that. Check me out on my social media at Babala Brook. And if you'd like to follow the podcast, it's Babbling Brook Podcast on Instagram. And we have a Facebook group at Babbling Brook Podcast. Join us there if you like. Of course, I have the YouTube channel that I've mentioned already, Babala Brook, as well as the blog, babalabrook.com. Way more stories there. The blog started around 2010, 2011. So it's hundreds of stories. We're also on Patreon for those who would like or are able to support the show. We have multiple different tiers starting from $5. You can do 1 month only or monthly at any different tier. We have unedited content there, and we'll figure it out what else we can add on there with time. But in the meantime, that's what's there. No pressure whatsoever, by the way. I will accept a 5-star rating for the show wherever you listen to the podcast. Please share it. Let's go far and let's go wide. Thank you and enjoy. Just as someone parked right parallel to my window, my curtain swayed, being blown by the wind in a direction that exposes me sitting on my couch in the nude. Hey everyone, you're stuck with me. I can't, or I'm stuck with you. Somebody's stuck. I can't even flinch right now. Least mistake, if they can see me now from where I sit and where they are, they definitely will if I try to move and cover up. My name is Babala Brook, and I'd like to, oh my gosh, whoa, I need to move. Okay. This curtain hasn't moved at all. And now a second car just arrived, and this is crazy. I hope I don't end up in jail and people think I'm a pervert. Because I really am not. I'm just hot. I beg your pardon. I had to go get my sarong in the freezer. I didn't know where I'd put it. Of course I didn't know where I'd put it. I hadn't put it in the freezer before. My cell phone battery is at 2%. Don't know why I'm telling you this, but it's just interesting because it's been on charge all day and maybe it needs to be reset. Hello and welcome to another episode of Babala Brook's podcast. My name is Babala Brook. You guessed it. Wanted to talk to you about something that I just discovered. What do you do when Oh, the heat that's being blown behind me is so hard, I can't even function. There is a person who lives in Eastern Europe. Nothing against that part of the globe. This person allegedly lives in Eastern Europe. We'll go with that because, as far as I'm concerned, it hasn't been proven. There's somebody who's close to myself and my family who we care about, who claims to be in love with this person from Eastern Europe. The person from my side of the equation is a male, and this alleged person is female. The male says, oh, I'm engaged. In fact, he doesn't. He says, my fiance will be flying in a couple of weeks. This was about a month ago. So right now, I'm not sure where the fiance is. If she will go with that, is still a female. If she's still a female. If she's still coming, if she's still a fiance, or if they're married, I don't know. I'm almost scared to ask. Here's how the story goes from my perspective. Oh, my fiance will be in the country in a couple of weeks. I was looking at flights. In fact, can you look up flights for me? I'm in America. The person who wants flights is in South Africa. The person who will be flown in is in Eastern Europe. Why am I in it? So I'm like, fiance, yeah, we're engaged. We've been talking for about a year. Have you met in person? I know they haven't met in person, first of all. And not only that, I also know that they are an item. I know this because I heard from other people in our circle. I just didn't confront the person, the main guy, because I wanted to wait until they opened up to me about it and then attack. You're engaged? Yes, we've been talking for almost a year. Have you video chatted? Please be very careful. Because I know this person may be not naive, but is not well versed in the aspect of internet dating, just anything online. And I'm the pro in the family. So let me help you out, even though nobody had asked me to do so, including the fiance, whatever, the male counterpart of a fiance relationship. I then say, give me all this person's names, and I get them. Then I take the names and put them on Facebook, trying to find out. But what I come up with is somebody by the effect of like a prime minister type, politician type, big position person in, what is this, in Hungary, Budapest. That's where the fiance is allegedly from. I'm thinking, did this catfish just pick a country and pick a random name and, of course, pick this popular person? Or is this a coincidence? Because having lived in Eastern Europe, in Georgia myself, I know that definitely in Georgia, they were just using a few names for everybody. Everybody's name is Georgi, Luca, or something to that effect. I looked this person up, and it wasn't easy to find this person, even though they met on a Facebook dating group, church-related group on Facebook. So you both are on Facebook then, right? That already is taken care of. So I should be able to just come up with you when I search one of you guys well, not one of you guys. When I search the guy's Facebook friends, which he hasn't hidden or tweaked or anything like that. Unlike some people for whom you can't see the list of their friends. That's not the case with this guy. So why is this lady not coming up? Then I don't know how I ended up finding this person, honestly, but I did. And also the fact that I had seen her picture as, I couldn't even freaking tell you how it happened, but I was WhatsApping the guy, and it so happened, I think there was a message on WhatsApp from the female to the guy that came in as the guy was taking a screenshot of something on his page. So that notification on top of their cell phone was there, and because the lady has her profile picture on her WhatsApp profile, if you know how WhatsApp works, then that was screenshotted. I feel like screenshotted is not a grammatically correct word. That was screenshot. So I looked up this person, and somehow I ended up finding her, and then I went into her profile. She only has one picture. It's a profile picture, and I think that under cover picture, this is on the Facebook profile. Under cover picture, I think she has like something natural, like nature, but on no other profile pictures over the years. And a lot of the things are private. You can't see the about me part. It's, I guess, set to private. You can see a decent amount of posts, but they're all like 2014. They're all old, and it's nothing that you can use. Maybe there were 2 other pictures throughout the profile just scrolling. It wasn't too much scrolling that I had to do, because I think a lot of the posts are private, or just it's not a very active profile. Who knows? One of the, like maybe 1 or 2 other pictures had her picture, her face, but these are old posts from God knows when, 10 years ago or longer or so. So you can kind of see the resemblance. And also the person is blonde in these photos, but in her main profile picture, she looks much older than she does in the older blonde picture. Not that she looks much older as a person, just in comparison, you can tell that's a much older picture on the timeline versus the profile, which is, it can be a good thing. The profile picture is somebody in a black top, possibly a t-shirt, very dark, very black hair, very Eastern European, in that way. So the hair is probably almost matches the t-shirt. All I could see were breasts. I'm talking about probably double, like, gosh, F's, G's, Z's. No pun intended with the G's. Or maybe pun intended. It's just breast. It's a headshot that just comes up to just under the breasts. And it looks like how if you have very large breasts that are hanging but are not empty, they're totally filled, and if somebody were walking behind you, they can see the breast sticking out from behind you. It's that type of situation. It's just breasts galore in that picture. Of course, that's your profile picture. Like, of course, that's how this person met you, and of course, you guys are engaged. Look at your profile picture. I was told that they had talked and they'd been talking for a year, but it wasn't very clear to me as to whether they had talked on video. And the person from my side, the guy, he didn't seem like he was trying to have the conversation where I'm trying to say maybe this person, doesn't exist. Like, basically. Then, and in all the posts on this lady's profile, my guy has liked every single one of them and is the only one. I'm like, man, you are such an easy target. You're falling for all of this. This profile is probably, I want to say it was created for just him, but it couldn't have been because they only met about a year ago. And like I said, 10-year-old posts. But it was probably, I feel like, created for someone like him, and he's falling for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Is that what it is? Then tugu tugu, I hear, oh, she's coming, and we're gonna stay here. He's living with somebody else who's helping him out because he has financial problems right now. Now you're gonna bring this person. I'm like, are you sure you want to do that? Has the person with whom you live okayed you bringing basically a stranger to their house? No, they haven't, but what am I supposed to do? This is where I live, and therefore that's where my fiance is going to live. This is not somebody who's coming from Eastern Europe on vacation or for a 2-week whatnot. No, the person is moving in. That's how they're meeting for the first time. I can judge because you do whatever the bleep you want, but I've done something similar too. I've met a guy online and I've moved in right away I met them for the first time in person, and I never even video called or whatever them. I believe I did do my due diligence. I looked the person up, I did all the things, but maybe I was lying to myself. Maybe that's what this guy believes as well, that he has done his due diligence. Who knows? Luckily, spoiler alert, I didn't get killed. And then he says to me, the person that I'm living with is trying to say, no, your fiance cannot come here. I don't want her here. I don't want anybody here. I don't want people who are going to break into my house and steal my valuables. And this guy's like, how dare she? How dare she think that my fiance is going to steal from her? My fiance is a good person. N-word, you never met this person. Stop. Are you really that horny? Then I said, maybe I'll write the whole story. It's such a draining story that I don't know. Maybe I'll write it on my blog. It's babalabrook.com. Now, 2 weeks comes, right? And I'm scared to even ask, is she here? I just keep stalking his social media. He doesn't post anything about her on any of his social media. I did text with him a week ago and 2 weeks ago. That was 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4, since the fiance should have arrived. In my heart of hearts, because it's a complicated story, like I said, a part of me really hopes that this is a catfish, just so that it doesn't complicate the living arrangement, because you're a middle-aged man who's being helped out by somebody, and now you want to bring this catfish into the picture. I mean, shit, I don't want to get into that whole story. My point is to cut to the chase. As I'm doing my first recording sitting on the freaking floor today, for so many reasons, but it feels so much better down here. I hope the sound is good because I have opened everything. All the doors in the room that I'm in, all the windows in the next rooms, and the doors in the next rooms. And if maybe you can hear the dog barking. Now, nobody else in the family knows anything. Oh, I talked to someone in my family, and I say, what about that fiance situation? And she says, did you hear what I said when I first saw her picture? I said, I don't know. No, I didn't. Tell me. She said, I was like, this is a guy. I was like, whoa, really? She said, yeah, I think that's a guy. I personally didn't. This person does have ambidextrous features. Not ambidextrous. Androgynous. It's kind of the same thing, right? Ambidextrous, people who are both left and right-handed. Androgynous, people who, if you're female, you very much resemble a male. I have no problem with either. I've seen some really good-looking androgynous people, actually. Probably all the ones I've seen really look good. Maybe somebody made it so that it's a look, like in the modeling industry, so maybe I've been brainwashed. You can see that in this person's jaw and stuff like that, but it's the breasts that throw me off. And not only that, for me, that wasn't the first thing that came to my mind. It was just that there's a man behind this profile who knew that if you put this type of picture, other men will fall for it. And of course, the person setting the profile picture up knows what will work as a bait for other guys, considering they themselves are guys. That's my thinking. Fine. I did have conversations with the guy a few weeks or so, post the time that fiance should have been here. I did not touch that subject with a 10-foot pole. I just talked about whatever. But I felt like something would have come up, and nothing really did. And I haven't heard anything from anybody in close proximity, considering I'm, in the States. You guys, today I'm minding my own business, just shaved my freaking head, in bed, contemplating spending the rest of the night in the bathtub in ice cold water. Just kidding, there's no ice cold water, all the water's warm. I'm like, let me just remove this notification on my YouTube. Even though I've already seen what it is, because you obviously you can when you get your notifications, but I'm like, you have that red one that's sitting there annoyingly. Let me just go into YouTube, even though, like, for me, like, things like sometimes social media and, like, going into Facebook sometimes just feels like going to eBay. It feels like work mode. Sometimes I just, like today, I'm taking totally the whole day off. And it's the first time in a long time. And it just feels good. So I didn't even want to go into YouTube. My YouTube is Babala Brook as well. Then I go in there and I'm like, okay, I have a new subscriber. Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let me just go and click in there so that number one goes away. Spoiler alert, turns out actually I had 2 new subscribers today. So that was really exciting. But sometimes you get subscribers and then they unsubscribe for whatever reason. So I don't even know where they come from. I don't know why they stay, and I don't know why they leave. What do I know? Do you know that the person one of the 2 people who subscribed to my profile today is this Budapestan, Hungarian lady, possibly male? Again, why am I in it? How did this person find me? How did you find me? I was like, are you in South Africa? Because, of course, the guy follows me. So were you looking at the posts and the people that he follows? I still don't want to ask the guy, what's the deal with the fiance? Because I don't want to hear things that are going to ruin my mood. But the fact that this person's subscribed to my channel is kind of next level. Right? Or what? How could you? I just feel like I've never like found a spouse's like person connection and like subscribe to their channel or edit them or anything like that. If anything, if I'm curious, maybe I'll stalk them and I will make double sure there's no mistake of double clicking, liking, or showing that I've been here. So for this person to subscribe was like, when I saw the name, I was like, I'm pretty sure I know this name. Of course I know this name because every once in a while I go into their profile to see if there are any pictures with, the guy that I know, a few guys being together or whatever. So of course, let me just double check but I can see the profile picture this time is different from the profile picture on YouTube is different from the one on Facebook. But you can tell it's the same person. So I go to Facebook again to see if there are any new developments. There are 2 new posts, but one is, I don't know what kind of a new post that is. It's a picture from December 2014. Or maybe a picture from December 14th. Oh, no, it can't be because I've looked at the profile since December. Actually, I only found out about this person this year. So Yeah, it's like December 14 is what I'm saying. So I don't know if it's 2014 or the 14th. Either way, it's a picture from the past because we haven't had a December yet in 2022. By the way, it's 2022, June, Sunday, and June 5th, 1935 is the time right now. But that's, oh, fuck. That's what time it is right now, 1935, because I started doing this recording 24 minutes ago. So I started at 7:10 or so. And it's 100 degrees in the Californian desert, Mojave Desert, not really, high desert type place, not really. I don't freaking know where the hell I live, but it's 100 degrees today, 40 degrees Celsius. May have mentioned that part already. But that's the story. I just found it. This is me thinking out loud and also bouncing ideas with you. I really would like to hear your thoughts on this. I'd like to know, am I the asshole for freaking out for this person subscribing to my channel? I'm not sure. Are they doing some kind of a research too? Are they privy to the fact that I've been kind of stalking them? Are they getting ready to stalk me? Maybe now they're like, why should I freaking move to South Africa when I can catfish this girl over here and move to the US instead? I don't know. I really, in my heart of hearts, have believed from day one that this person is not who they say they are, at the risk of sounding like Neil Schulman from Catfish. I just don't think that they're who they say they are. And I really would like to contact the person and say, hey, why is your fiance subscribing to my thing? But I don't, that's a can of worms. You can find me on all social media at Babala Brook. And please give me a nice rating and review, or just a rating on this podcast. I'm trying to grow it. I'm trying to build some kind of a community for myself and for yourself. And hopefully we will do fine together and go very far and do wonderful things for each other, especially for our mental health in one way or another. And again, my YouTube channel is Babalwa Brook, as well as my blog, babalabrook.com. Thank you for sticking around. I'll talk to you soon. Toodaloo.